Hello and welcome to coverage of round 7 of the 2014 Clay Pigeon Kart Club Minimax Championship. Okay, into Heat 1 we go now, with Ethan Ling being the man on pole for Heat number 1. The current C plate man makes a great start there. Let's take a look at a replay from that start on board here with 33 Jensen Brown. Starting this heat behind the 50 cut of Paige Holden, moves across the inside and takes that position. And on to lap 2 now, and it's the 94 kart of Riley Phillips making a move up the inside of Bradley Stevens, making that look rather simple there. Riding on board now with 53 Tommy Foster, as he's up behind number 21 kart of Bradley Stevens, moves across the inside, and yes, he does take that position. And as the karters make their way towards the S-bends, there it goes 25 of Thomas Edmonds up the inside of Marcy Russell. Now for those of you out there who may be new to karting, Minimax is for drivers aged 11 to 16 years of age. The engine is a 125cc water-cooled 2-stroke engine. The Minimax configuration of Rotax is designed for drivers graduating from cadet karting. The engine is restricted at both the inlet and exhaust to reduce the power available. Okay, once again riding on board with Tommy Foster, looking down, and he moves across the inside on 94 Riley Phillips, and he does take the lead there. Riding on board now with Jensen Brown, and that's Phillips making the move on Stevens, and Brown follows him through. And as the flag drops, it's Foster first, with Gooding second and Brown in third. Top three there separated by under 0.2 of a second. Okay, and into Heat 2 with Gooding on pole. And looks like that's Lamport and Phillips who appear to be the big movers there, gaining at least a couple of positions each there. On board with Tommy Foster now on a replay at the start of Heat 2. And as the leaders come round to make a start on lap number 2. That's 44 Marcy Russell up the inside of Hepworth, making a move into the S-bends and makes that stick. I think Hepworth there went off. Let's see if we can find a replay. So riding on board now with 44 Marcy Russell, and she does get a run up the inside of Hepworth there into the S-bends, holds her line, and yes, completes that move. Let's take another look at that incident on board with Brown, and you can see clearly that Russell does have the inside line. Hepworth there making the mistake trying to hold round the outside. Riding on board again with 53 Foster, and that's Lamport up the inside of him into the hairpin. Straight away Foster makes the move and takes the place back going into the horseshoe. And as the leaders come back past again, Lamport has retaken that position there from Foster. And that's the 25 car of Thomas Edmonds there, dropping it under the brakes into the hairpin. Replay showing there, Thomas does just unfortunately drop that under the braking. Gooding up the inside of Lamport into the horseshoe and does make that stick. On board now with Brown behind Marcy Russell. Up the back straight, moves across to the inside, makes his move into the hairpin. Foster there getting a good run up behind Lamport, moves across the inside, sticks it up the inside, holds that position, lovely, great move. And as the checker flag comes out, that's a win for Gooding, second Phillips and third Foster. Into Heat 3 we go now, and on pole it's the 24 car of Jem Hepworth. Lamport there making a good run up the inside and taking the lead. Let's take another look at the start now, on board with 44 Marcy Russell. Once again the Minimax grid having another clean start. On to lap 2 we go now, and that's Gooding making a move on Ling, with Phillips following him through. Riding on board with Foster now, and he makes his move across the inside of Ling. Staying on board with Tommy Foster as he makes his move up the inside of Paige Holden into the hairpin. On board now with 44 Marcy Russell, she moves to the inside and makes it stick on the 21 Carter Stevens. On board once again with Russell, and as she sees Hepworth moving up on the inside into the horseshoe, Stevens also makes his move, runs a little wide there, gets a good run into turn 6 and lunges up the inside of Stevens into the top corner, makes that one stick. And as the checker flag falls on heat number 3, it's Lamport who takes the win, with Foster in second and Gooding in third. And as we move into the final, the grid positions are pole position Tommy Foster, second Harry Gooding, and in third place Jensen Brown. Once again, another fantastic start from the Minimax grid. Certainly has been class of the field today. On to lap 3 they come now, and Ling making his move on the inside of Marcy Russell into the S-bends. Ling once again with a carbon copy move, this time on Edmonds. On board now with our race leader Foster, and that's Lamport up the inside to take the lead. Foster straight away back onto his rear bumper. On board again with Foster, and clearly Gooding has passed them both. Lamport again passes Foster, pushing him down to third now. And Foster's obviously taken the lead somewhere out of sight of our camera. Top 7 cars separated by less than 2 seconds. We're seeing some great racing here. Russell with a hand in the air, running wide. I wonder if there was any contact. Replay of that move, and it's hard to see if there was any contact. Hepworth now through on Stevens, pushing him wide, allowing Holden and Russell both to go through. Foster now having to go very defensive. And as we ride once again with our race leader Foster moving into the bottom corner. Oh, and he's gone off! Oh, I wonder what happened there. What a shame. Slow-mo replay of that incident. And it's so hard to see what's happened there. The battle for the lead continues without Foster. Ling once again making a move. Things have really come together well in this final for him. And Gooding makes a late lunge up the inside of Lamport for the lead. Great move. Russell attempts to find a way past Holden, just catching the back, but both continue without any problems. Heading into the last few minutes of the final, Gooding leads from Brown, from Lamport, from Phillips, from Ling, then Edmonds. Lamport dives up the inside of Brown, but Brown does have the inside line for turn 6, and he does indeed keep that position. This time it's Phillips that tries that same move and somewhat rudely barges Brown out of the way, making room for Ling to follow. Replay there showing that move was never really going to come off without any contact. Foster there on his recovery from that spin, making his way past 21 Carter Stevens. And And as we ride on board with Marcy Russell on the last lap of the final, moving across the inside of 21 of Stevens, has a look at Foster, not quite enough room there, has to settle for that position. Up front it's Holden making the move on Hepworth, allowing Foster to go through. Russell slots in behind Hepworth. And as the checkered flag falls, it's Gooding who takes the win in the final from Ling from Brown. Ling clearly very pleased with that, but it's Gooding who takes the win. Here's the classified results then. As we said before, Gooding with the win, Ling in second, Brown in third. Towards the back end of the field there, we see Tommy Foster manage to make his way back up to 8th after that spin.